Okay, I'm trying to start this video, but my cat has decided he wants to be in the video as well. Stop it! Be naughty. So when I first got back into collecting Pokemon cards, I remember one of the first things I thought was, what do I actually buy? Because when I was a kid, I'd just walk up to the counter in my local newsagents and there would just be a box of packs sat next to the till. Now, I very quickly realised that that is not the case anymore. Not only are there so many different sets, but there's also so many different types of products, it can be a little bit like, right, what am I buying here? You've got blister boxes, you've got mini tins, big tins, booster bundles, collection boxes, but they all centre around one thing, and that is this little bad boy, a booster pack. Now, inside this little piece of foil is where we will find what we are looking for, our Pokemon cards. And all of the products that we're going to look at today centre around this. Now, each product has a different amount of packs in it, as well as some other things. So the purpose of this video is to show you what you can get in each type of product. It's also an excuse for me to open a load of packs. So without further ado, we're going to get stuck in. Right, so first of all, I'm going to talk you through each product that I've got. Now, you've already seen the first one, and that is a booster pack. Now, in each modern pack of Pokemon cards, you get 10 cards, plus an energy card, and then a code card. Now, that is made up of 4 common cards, 3 uncommon cards, 2 holos, and then a rare of any kind. Now, that could be a normal rare, a holo rare, a double rare, but the ones we're really chasing are the illustration rares, special illustration rares. So that's what you get within each one of these packs. So we're going to start with this one. Now, Surging Sparks is known to not be the most rewarding of packs to open. However, in a recent video that I did manage to pull the Latias from it, so I can't decide if I'm feeling lucky or if all my luck's drawn out with Surging Sparks now. But we're going to start with this and we'll get underway. And one thing you're going to learn from this, if you haven't watched my videos before, is I'm not great at opening packs. I always really struggle to get in them. Now, I need to make sure, we're going to be opening a lot of packs here, so I need to have some sort of order on my desk. And I think that order is going to start by just chucking the rubbish over my shoulder and I'll clean it up later. Right, so we've got our cards. Here's the code card that I was talking about for anybody who wants to go and have a look at that. And the first card at the back is always an energy card. Now, some people will just put that aside. I tend to pop it to the front and we'll start having a look through it. Now, as I said, I've not had much luck with Surging Sparks in the past. I've literally pulled that Latias on a few videos and that was it. Other than that, I pulled absolutely nothing. Oh! Nice! Well, that's not a bad start at all. We've got the Drayton Ultra Rare, which I think is only worth a few quid, but as first packs go, that is not a bad start. Hopefully, that is a telltale sign of where we are going to end up. Now, as I said, I'm going to try and keep very organised here. All of my hits, I'm going to sleeve up, and I'll pop them there for now. Hopefully, that back wall is going to be absolutely full of hits by the end of this. We'll pop those out of the way. So that's our first one done. Now I'm going to move on to a blister pack. Now, a blister pack comes in multiple different forms. You can get single pack blister packs, or in this case, you can get 3 packs within one. Now in this, we've got 3 packs of Paldea Evolved. Now, I've not opened much Paldea Evolved. Oh, something about that goes absolutely through me. But the key thing that we're chasing in here is the Magikarp. I'll pop it up on screen now so you can see what it looks like. I think it's probably one of the best looking cards that there is in the whole of the Pokemon TCG. It's a Shinji Kanda design, and if you don't know who that is, go and have a look. Iconic Pokemon card designer. But hopefully, that Magikarp is in one of these 3 packs. Now, with a blister pack, you do also sometimes get a promo card. You can see here we've got a Varoom Black Star promo. Here's the code for those of you that care about it, and let's get tucked into some of these. Now, honestly, as I said, I've not opened that much Paldea Evolved. I think I picked up a few packs once from the Asda that's near my office, but realistically, there's some lovely cards in here. There's a very nice Tyranitar, but I am chasing the Magikarp here. That is specifically what I'm looking for. There's a couple of decent cards. I love the art. I would normally spend a little bit more time going through these cards because I appreciate the artwork in a lot of them. But the fact of the matter is that we've got far too many cards to go through and I need to try and not be here all day because I've not actually sat down to try and work out how many packs we've got to open today. We've got a booster bundle, a booster box, an ETB, so we've got a hell of a lot of packs to get through. It's actually the most amount of packs I think I've ever opened in one go. So I can't be here all day. I need to try and get through them as fast as I can. Nothing in the first 2 packs. Moving on to the last pack of our blisters. I'm actually doing an okay job at getting into these. Like I said, normally I'm an absolute nightmare at it. I don't know what it is. Fine getting into the Japanese packs. The Japanese packs seem to be much easier to open. But yeah, when it comes to opening English packs, my fingers just decide to stop working. That is a class Raichu, by the way. Just before we move on to that next card, I absolutely love that reverse holo. Trajan and Portland. Nothing from those. So blister pack done. Again, I'm going to try and keep on top of my organisation skills here. Yeet. And I'm not sure if I showed those. I'm just going to show all of those because I'm not sure which ones I showed and which ones I didn't, if anybody's interested in them. I've ended up chucking a pack behind my back. Okay, so not much going on in there. Now the next thing I'm going to open is a mini tin. Now I'm really excited about this mini tin because in this mini tin is 151. Pokemon 151 is by far the most popular set of the last 10 years of the modern era of Pokemon. This is the set that everybody's into. And the reason behind that is because it is literally called 151 after the 151 original Pokemon from the Pokédex in the first generation of Pokemon. So this is just nostalgia. It's absolutely brilliant as a set goes. There's some amazing artworks in there. Now, I got back into collecting Pokemon at around the time that 151 had just started getting quite expensive. When you look at price per pack, I can't actually get into this. There we go. Price per pack now, some people charge £20 a pack. I think this tin cost me about 25 quid. But I just really wanted to open some 151. You get a lovely little coin in it. So I probably just launched that. And then I actually use these as dividers. But people do actually collect these tins. So you can sell them on eBay and stuff and people will be interested in it. So I'm gonna pop that to one side. And within a mini tin, you get 2 packs. Now, as I said, these packs are in hot demand. I've never pulled anything crazy from it, but it is one of the best sets. It's just pure nostalgia. And if, like me, you are back into the Pokemon TCG collecting for the nostalgia of it, then these packs are exactly what you are after. As I struggle to get into another pack. Now, there's some amazing cards in this set. The key one that we're looking for is the Charizard. It's one of the nicest artworks that I've seen in a while. But there is some other amazing cards in here as well. Oh, we've got a Cosmo Energy. Little swirls on that. That is lovely. I actually don't know how much these are worth. I've got quite a few of them knocking about. So, as I said, nostalgia through and through in this set. So you've got Diglett, Drowsy. The artwork on them is brilliant. Like, that is just a common card, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant. I love this set. I wish I'd just got back into collecting Pokemon cards when this came out as a main set. We've got Dratini, Graveler, Arcanine, Kingler, Grabber, Builds Transfer. Oh, nice! Do you know what? I literally picked this up at a show like 2 weeks ago. Absolutely unbelievable. I've literally just sent one of these to get graded. I tell you what, we're off to an absolute flyer here. Let me just have a look how much this card is worth. Yeah, this is like a £15–20 card. Absolutely unreal. We are off to some start here. I think that's actually probably the biggest card I've pulled from 151. Like I said, I've not had much luck from it before. But let's get into the second pack, 151. I am literally just chucking these on the floor now. Sorry, code card, I'm always forgetting that. Venonat. I need to get faster at it as well. Pidgey, Metapod, Ponyta, Magneton. Cool artwork. Nidoqueen, Victreebel. I've just ruined it for myself. But we've got the Tangler illustration rare. Oh my, we are absolutely cooking here. Now this card is actually one that I'm gonna keep in my collection because I am currently doing a Pokédex binder collection of the original 151 Pokemon. And that is one that I know I need. I'm just looking for all of the like illustration rares, art rares for all of the original 151 Pokemon. But those 2 cards from 2 packs, we're doing all right here. So that was the mini tin. Now one step up from the mini tin are these collector tins. Now in these tins, you get a few more than you do in a mini tin. I think you get 4 packs. This is gonna be a little bit harder to get into. Do you know what? I'm gonna go get some scissors. Right, see if we can get into that a little bit easier now. There we go. So, as I said, in these tins you get 4 packs, I think it is, plus a promo card. And I just ordered all of this stuff on bulk online, to be honest. I actually don't know what packs we're gonna get in here. Oh, do you know what? It's giving me a bit of grief. So we've got the Black Star promo Iron Crown. Move those out of the way before I hurt myself. And one thing that I do always think about these is it can be a bit of a nightmare to get out of here without trying to damage them. Now, this isn't a very expensive card, so I'm not as bothered about it, but it's really hard to actually get out without damaging the card. There we go. There's your code card for anybody interested. What have we got in here? We've got two packs of Twilight Masquerade, 1 pack of Temporal Forces, and 1 pack of Paradox Rift. So we'll move this out the way. Some people like to keep these tins actually, just for keeping all of the cards in. I think I've got one where I've just stored all of my little coins. I thought this one would come with a coin actually. No, clearly not. Parcel that up. So I'm going to start with the Temporal Forces. I've had really good luck with Temporal Forces. When I first got back into the hobby, I picked up a couple of packs from a shop, and this was when I didn't know what sets were what I wanted to collect. I had no idea. And my first hit that I got was a Gengar. Now there's a couple of Gengars in this set. It wasn't the more expensive one, but because it was my first hit, I sent it to get graded and it came back a 10. I've still got it. Plus there's also an Iron Leaves in here, a special illustration rare, which is a really, really nice looking card. It's not worth much. Again, I've got that back in a 10. I've got the energy card. But like I said, had some good luck in this set. There's a Ghastly in this set that I really like, and an Arbok as well. But it's, I think it's one of those sets that's a little bit slept on, really. It doesn't get enough credit that it deserves. But nothing in the first pack, and that's it for Temporal Forces, actually. Now on to Paradox Rift, where I think the main chase in this set, I don't know Paradox Rift very well. This is a prime example, by the way, guys, of how awful I am at opening packs. I don't like really ripping them open. Some people just scrag them open, and I'm not about that life. There's your code card. But the big chase in this is a Groudon. But other than that, I'm not 100% sure what else is in here. Big chase wise. It's not a set I've opened. I don't know. I think this might be the first time I've ever actually opened it. That is some really good artwork, and of course it's Shinji Kanda. So for what I was talking about before, Shinji Kanda, absolutely the GOAT of artists when it comes to Pokemon cards. I think I'm just going to set that card aside actually, because I do want to keep hold of that. But like I said, never really opened this before. That's a nice Latias. Nothing really going on in there. I am going to go through all of these later on, don't worry. I'm not just going to shove these all in a box. Any big hits that I get that I don't tend to get graded or keep in my personal collection, I tend to put on my eBay channel. So go and have a look at that. I'll put the link in the bio for this video. But then now from the tin, we've got 2 packs of Twilight Masquerade. Now the top chase from this set is a Greninja, I think. It's a really nice Greninja card. But actually, that's not what I'm interested in. There is an Eevee card in this set, and I absolutely love it. It's such a nice card. So I'm hoping that we get that in here. Again, I need to get faster at doing this, because otherwise we are going to be here for hours on end. And that's it from the first pack. Moving swiftly on to the second pack, which we seem to be opening with quite ease. I've just bent the corner of that card. Luckily it wasn't one of the other cards. This is why you've got to be careful. Sorry, I'm getting awful at showing you these. And that's why you have got to be careful when you're opening packs. You don't want to damage what's inside them. That's why when I see people absolutely scragging these packs open, I'm like, what are you doing? First of all, appreciate the cards, but you're just going to damage them. And it's not looking like we've got anything so far in here. Oh, got a Macargo EX, nice. It's got a nice little hollow pattern on it. I'm going to sleeve that up. There we go. And let's clear those out. Now for our next product, we're going to need a little bit more room, because this is a binder collection box. Now there's loads of different types of these. This one in particular is from Black Bolt and comes with a free binder, which always comes in handy. God, the amount of cardboard and plastic waste you get with these. So there we go. So it comes with a little binder. Do you know what? Let me just zoom out so you can actually see it. So for any of you who've just started out in the hobby, this is what you'll remember when you were a kid. And I'll keep hold of this because I'm always starting new random collections. But Black Bolt is not a set that I've got that much experience in. I've opened the odd pack, but it's just one of those sets that just doesn't align with me. I'm assuming this is the card list. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's just one of those sets where I'm just not as interested in the cards. There's some amazing cards in here. I mean, the big ones are the Victini and the Zekrom in this set are unbelievable cards. But Zekrom was a little bit after my time, and Victini was, but I think they are so hard to pull. I'm not sure what the pull rate's on. Someone can let me know in the comments what the pull rates are for the Zekrom and the Victini. But I think they're so hard to pull that I've just never thought it's actually worth me trying to get it. But in this, chucking all the stuff on the floor. In this collection box, we've got 5 packs of Black Bolt. Now, as I said, there's loads of different types of boxes that you can get that come with different things. Some just come with a promo card and packs. Others will come with bigger things like a binder. But let's get stuck into these Black Bolt. Now, again, it's not a set that I know very well. The key things that I'd be wanting here is the Zekrom and the Victini. They are some expensive cards as well. So let's see what we can get. Like I said, I actually think this, I've opened a Japanese set before. That's a nice energy. I've opened some Japanese before, but I've never bothered opening the English one. Like I said, it's just not a set that aligns with me very much. It's mostly more modern Pokemon, and like I said, I was of Gen 1, 2, and 3. Oh! That is a nice card. I honestly did not expect to be pulling illustration rares out of this set. That's stunning. I've no idea how much it's worth. Let me have a look. I don't think it's a ridiculous amount, otherwise I feel like I'd know. It's like a £7 or £8 card, but that is cool. Clean as well. But that is another really, really good pull. And from the first pack of our binder collection. Like I said, as much as I might say that this video is for educational purposes, I just wanted to open a load of packs. But we're doing really well so far. Let's move on to the second pack of Black Bolt. Another thing I'm quite impressed with is my pack opening abilities. I am getting slightly better at this. I am not one of those collectors who does just rip packs. A lot of my cards in my PC that I've collected, graded cards, I've bought individually because I just like them. So I'm not one of those people who just rips packs and packs and packs chasing cards. I'd love to have the money to do that. The energies in this are great, but every now and then, just like anybody, I don't mind having a little session, just sitting down and opening a load of packs. But like I said, a lot of these Pokemon are Pokemon that I'm just not familiar with. Oh, I just completely ruined that. They're much more modern. I first got into playing, I think actually the first game that I got was either Ruby or Sapphire. So I started at Gen 3. And then Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, the remastered versions of the original games. And then I went back and played those. I think I also played Pokemon Yellow for a period of time. So I started at Gen 3, went back to Gen 1, and then went on and played Gen 2. So Gen 1, 2, and 3, they were the games that I was absolutely obsessed with when I was a kid. I remember there was a game on GameCube, I cannot remember for the life of me what it was called, but that was my childhood when it comes to playing Pokemon. So a lot of these Pokemon I'm just not particularly familiar with. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate them as cards. They just don't hit quite the same as the original Pokemon from the first 3 generations do for me. And I'd imagine there's probably quite a lot of you who feel exactly the same way. The reason why this hobby has just absolutely blown up in the last 5, 6, 7 years, kind of during the pandemic, post-pandemic, is not only the value that people associate with the cards and people trying to build up their collections, but also it's just the nostalgic of it. I keep ruining this for myself. We've got a Superior EX. I'm going to sleeve that one up. Like I said, I will go back through all of these, and if there's any that I've missed that are worth a pretty penny and worth me putting on eBay, I will sleeve up and put on my eBay channel. But we're already building up quite the pile of cards now. Look at that. Plenty of bulk for you. For those of you who are quite new to the hobby and wondering what you do with all of your bulk, I personally have just kept hold of it. I've bought a little storage thing and I've kept hold of all of my bulk. And I think once I fill it, I'll take it to my local Pokemon card shop. There's the code card. I'll take it to my local Pokemon card shop, and I think they take bulk for store credit. Now, you've got to have thousands and thousands of cards for it to be actually worth it, but every card is valuable to somebody. Somebody will be master setting Black Ball, or maybe they'll be a particular fan of a certain Pokemon. So a card is always going to be worth something to someone. So I'd never throw them out. And we've got a Meloetta. I just keep hold of them. Some people will bundle them all together and you can buy them on eBay in bulk, but I'm just not that bothered about doing that. I'm just going to keep all of my EXs half arts together. But already I'm absolutely made up with how we've done so far. And we've not even got into the bigger boxes yet. Which leads me nicely onto our next product, a Phantasmal Flames Booster Bundle. Now, booster bundles come with 6 packs in them. I've opened quite a few of these with Phantasmal Flames, but I'm yet to pull anything spectacular in it. Just see how easily I can get into that. Yeah, it seems okay. Now, Phantasmal Flames are a relatively new set, so still pretty available and not a ridiculous price. But these booster bundles are really good if you do just want to sit and rip a couple of packs without spending an absolute fortune. Struggling to get into this. Plus, these little boxes are actually quite handy if you go into shows and you want to take some cards for sale or trade. They do come in handy for that. But in a booster bundle, you get 6 packs. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. I'd say Phantasmal Flames is probably the set I've opened the most of in terms of packs. Like I said, I don't go ripping packs all the time, but after I got into the hobby, Phantasmal Flames was the first set that came out that I really, really liked the look of. Am I obsessed with that Charizard? Absolutely, of course I am. Who isn't? But this was the first set that got released that I was really excited for release date. Another absolutely brilliant Shinji Kanda artwork there. I've got enough to start my own little binder collection going on now. But yeah, like I said, I was very excited when this set came out. I have pulled the full art version of that door, but the set didn't do as well as I expected it to. The price of the Charizard has dropped quite significantly. I think just due to its pull rates. If it's an easy to pull card, it's not as special, but I do think it is an absolutely sensational card. I'm struggling to get into this. This is what I was talking about. I'm not great at ripping packs, so I always want to try and open them carefully because I don't want to damage the cards inside them. And I see these videos of streamers just tearing through pack after pack after pack, and I'm like, you are damaging cards there, mate. There's the code card for you. So we've got plenty of Phantasmal Flames to open. Actually, the rest of the packs we're opening now are Phantasmal Flames because the next product that we've got is the Phantasmal Flames ETB. Everyone loves a little Charmander, but it's a relatively small set. Oh, we've got the Duraludon again. So I think a lot of people have tried to master set it. It is one of those where I actually might consider master setting. I've never tried to master set something, but I think I'm probably not far off being able to do it with the amount of packs that I've actually opened from Phantasmal Flames. However, we are 2 packs in and we're not seeming to have anything showing for luck here. I'm really struggling to get into these. We started off so well, and now look at me. So I'll make sure that they're the right way for you. I'm actually yet to open any Mega Dream. Oh, I've just seen we've got something. Let's see what we've got. I've forgotten what I was going to say then because I've just seen that little bit of a sparkle and just my eyes have lit up just at the chance that we might have pulled something good here. Watch it just be some little half art. Here we go. It's not quite the Mega Gengar EX that we pulled from the new set, is it? But that is a great, great card. I'm not sure how much that's worth. Let's have a little look. Yeah, it's only worth a few quid. But that is why some of the cards in this set are so nice. That is definitely going on the back wall. And we also might have just missed that we got the Duraludon in a holo, which again, I'm going to put to one side because I am thinking about starting a Shinji Kanda binder. I say binder, I don't think there's enough to actually fill a full binder, but at least having a really nice page in my binder full of the artwork because I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Pop that on the back wall there, and we're moving on to pack number 4. What did we do? 4. Pack number 4 from the booster bundle, and I really am struggling to get into these ones more than any others. But I'm really happy with how we've done so far. You know, particularly that Blastoise from 151. We're not doing too badly at all. I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little bit. Charmeleon sick. I say I'm going to try and pick up the pace, and then I'm like, oh, just stop and have a little look at this Charmeleon. Oh, I just missed one there. Reshiram, Smeargle, and oh, Battle Cage. That's another one definitely worth sleeving up and sticking on the back row. Got 2 more packs. Let me just chuck some of this stuff on the floor. We've got 2 more packs from Phantasmal Flames. Starting to run out of room on the back wall now. We are yet to pull anything absolutely insane. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, I can't complain because I literally, a couple of weeks ago, pulled the Mega Gengar EX from Mega Dream, the SIR that everybody's chasing. So I've had my big hit fix for the last few weeks. I've shown off me pulling it, me sending it for grading. It came back a 10, and now it sits proudly in my personal collection. So we can't complain too much. I also managed to pull, as I said earlier, that Latias from Surging Sparks, which, given how poor Surging Sparks' pull rates are, I've done okay recently. There's your code card. As we head to the last pack of this Phantasmal Flames booster bundle, let's see if we can end it on a high. Is that last card? No. Not the most amazing, but I'm going to pack it up. As I said again, the vast majority of these cards will probably end up on my eBay channel at some point. So if you are looking to buy any of them, I'll put my eBay link in the description of this video. Before we move on to something that I'm quite excited for, which is a Phantasmal Flames ETB. Now, I have a confession. This is the first ETB that I have ever opened. Like I said, I'm still really, really new to the hobby. And when I first got back into it, the content that I saw out there was mostly from veterans who never stopped being obsessed with Pokemon. Whereas I was just obsessed with it when I was a kid. And I've spent the last few years watching people opening packs on YouTube, so jealous, just wanting to get back involved with it, where up until 7 months ago, I was just a bystander. So I have never actually managed to get an ETB before. I even paid retail for this. I got it off Amazon. For those of you who are wondering, you can go and buy product from Amazon. You've just got to, for products like this, you've got to be invited essentially. And I managed to get this for 45 quid. So this is my first time opening an ETB. Now the appeal of ETBs is all of the bits that come along. So you've got the actual box itself, which I'm gonna keep hold of because it's great card storage. You've got your player's guide. And as we open up the top here, I didn't realise it all came in this tidy little plastic. We've got another plain coin. We'll see, this, move that out of the way, is absolutely perfect for storing cards in, particularly if you're trying to take some to show for trade. So definitely keeping hold of this. Now, what do you also get within an ETB? You get 9 packs, which we'll pop there and open in a second. Some sleeves, which I personally am not a big fan of using these sleeves. I just prefer the clear on both sides, loose fit ones. But whenever I sell cards on eBay, I'll use these. We've also got the Cadet promo, and let's just open this up without damaging the card. Yeah. And we've got a load of dividers as well, which really come in handy for all of that bulk. Like I said, if you're storing all of your bulk in a box, these come in handy. But that promo is really nice. It looks like he's at a gig, doesn't it? But absolutely love that for a promo. Plus you get a load of energy cards, and you also get some playing dice as well. Now, if it wasn't already, it should be quite clear that these are geared towards people who are playing the game itself. But they've actually become a massive collector's item in themselves. People who collect sealed product tend to go for ETBs because obviously you've got the aesthetic visual appeal of an ETB. But price-wise, they tend to just go up and up and up. I'm personally myself not particularly interested in collecting sealed product. I, first of all, just want to rip everything open, so I don't think I'd have the patience or mental strength to stop myself from just opening everything. But also, without getting too deep and talking about the negative side to the hobby, I think by collecting sealed, you are just encouraging scalping. These products are made to be opened, and the minute you start hoarding and collecting sealed product, you are stopping somebody else from opening up that product, possibly a kid, just so you can sit on a box and watch it inflate in price over the course of a few years. It's not why I got into the hobby. Not that I have anything against people who do collect sealed, it's just not something I'm particularly interested in. So let's clear all of this out the way and crack on with opening the packs from here. So like I said, I'm gonna sleeve this up first things first. Like I said, we've got 9 packs to open from this ETB, and I am gonna have to start demoting some cards. Yoink. So we've got 9 packs to open. Now, as I said before, the rest of these packs that we're gonna be opening are gonna be Phantasmal Flames. So now we are in the territory of Charizard hunting, which is everybody's favorite pastime. It's what we've all been doing since we were kids, searching for the elusive Zard. But of course, I love cards like this because, you know, first gen Pokemon, this is what I got back into the hobby for. Even Lotad, that's a Gen 3 Hoenn, isn't it? There are some great cards in this set, and I think this set's getting a little bit of a bad rep. I think it's brilliant. I think there's some lovely... Oh! Nice! That is a nice pull. We've got the Mega Heracross Ultra Rare, which is a sick card. I mean, look at the texture on that. Absolutely stunning. That is a good hit from our first pack from the ETB. We're off to a good start. Let's get into the second one. That back wall's already looking absolutely brilliant. There's your code card. And I've not watched many people opening this set, but the feeling that I'm getting is that the Charizard is quite an easy one to pull, and that is obviously the main chase from this set. I keep doing this. I keep just ruining what I've got coming on. Sacred Charm, another one that I'm going to get sleeved up. I was very optimistic when we set up here. I've got a massive pile of sleeves and top loaders just in case we pull anything absolutely insane. But we are going to run out of room on the back wall. I think I am going to have a little tidy up here because we're going to need some more room. And this is manifestation. This is manifesting more cards as we move into pack number 3. Honestly, I've lost count at this point. This is actually the most amount of packs that I've ever opened in one sitting, and I've not long been opening packs on camera. For those of you who are new to the channel, I only started this channel. Oh, sorry, there's the code card. I only started this channel. I only posted my first video 2 weeks ago. So very, very new to opening cards on camera and also trying to fill dead space by talking a lot. Now, anybody who knows me will know that I have absolutely no trouble in filling dead space with the sound of my own voice. As we, can we just say that was an absolutely horrendous pack? What did we? That was the rare. Shocker. And we move into, let's just count how many packs we've got left for this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've opened 3 code card, and I'm gonna, after this pack, I'm gonna have a little look at what the other main chases are, because I know you've got the Dawn Special Illustration Rare. It's not too shabby, but other than that, I'm not 100% sure, so let's just have a little look. Yeah, so you've got the 2 Mega Charizards, you've then got the Meowth, which do you know what? Completely forgot. I've already pulled that and got it in a 10. Oh, there we go. I actually completely forgot about this. So that is the biggest thing that I've pulled from this set. And oh yeah, the gold Charizard, the Pill-Up illustration rare. There's some absolutely lovely cards in this set that I've just got absolutely nowhere near. So let's crack on. You want to see how many empty packs I've got down by my floor now. I'm really regretting just chucking them down there. Honestly, this is the biggest pack opening that I've done on camera, and I do not know how the big streamers do it, where they will literally sit and open booster box after booster box after booster box. Their floors must be an absolute state with packs. There's your card, and we've only got 4 packs left after this before we are done with this booster bundle, ETB, and then we're moving on to the booster box. So, flicking through these, nothing going on there. Yeah, do you know what? I absolutely completely forgot about that Meowth. Let's put it just. It's a brilliant card. Do you know what? I can't remember when I pulled it. I think I might have been opening weekend, and then yeah, I sent it away to Ace grading, and we got a 10. So that has stayed proudly in my PC. It's not a ridiculously expensive card. I think it's maybe like 50, 60 quid, but it's. I love the artwork. There's also a story behind it as well. Oh, nice. Mega Sharpedo. The even just like the half arts on these cards for like the double rares and stuff are absolutely brilliant. The texture on them, pop that in there. But as I was saying, if you just take a look at this Meow, that is Cerulean City, and it's a picture taken from, I think it's one of the routes, Route 5 or 6 or something like that, with Cerulean City in the background. So a lovely little nod to the original game there, but an absolutely class card, and yeah, I would absolutely love to pull another one. Also, just shout out to Ace, because look at the artwork, how it extends from the card up onto the label there. Absolutely gorgeous. And the next time I do this, I really need to think of a little bit of a better setup. I need to, first of all, I need a bigger desk for a start, but I need to have all of my packs nice and lined up to one side, because I'm having to clean up after myself after every single one at the minute. I'm also going to stop moving the energy card to the front because it's just wasting time. So let's try and get through some of these. I'm literally missing cards. And I hate to be that guy. Oh, nice. That's a really nice card. And we've started to hit a good little run of form here with that Wigglytuff. That is very, very right heavy though on the border. I was going to say that's something potentially worth grading, but it's very thick on the right. I'll have to give it a measure and see if it falls within Ace Grading's 60-40 rule. But that's another really good pull. We've got 2 packs left from the ETB, and at this point I am just begging to see something huge. That's the energy card. Let's try and get through them a little bit quicker, because after this next pack we have got a booster box to get through, and there is 36 packs in a booster box. More packs than we've opened so far already. There's your code card. Just as I said I was going to stop doing the energy trick, I've literally just done it straight away. And like I said, I hate to just be that guy who just flicks through cards, but otherwise this video is going to be a feature-length movie. Right, so we are on to our final product of opening every single type of Pokemon product that there is. Now don't get me wrong, have I missed a few? The first thing that springs to mind is a UPC, but that's a really specialist collection item rather than just general standard product lines for most sets. Plus, like, they're about 150 quid and I'm not made of money. But speaking of being made of money, we did drop a bombshell on this one. Now this is a Phantasmal Flames booster. Phantasmal Flames booster box. Goes well sealed if you're keeping it sealed. But on that note, bloop. So this is what, as a kid, you will have recognised will have been sat by the tills in a shop. Now you can't get these from your Bang Average store. You're going to be getting these on the second-hand market. But this is what you will have been familiar to seeing sat by the till, absolutely loaded with packs back in day. And God, how much some of these booster boxes go for now that have got base set in is absolutely insane. I'm gonna have a little rearrange here. I'm gonna clear the back wall for now because we're manifesting. We're manifesting that we're gonna be getting bigger and better things, and we're gonna get stuck into this booster box. Now, this is the first time I've ever opened a booster box, and like I said, I bought it specifically so that I could open it for this video, and as well an excuse to open 36 packs. But I'm hoping that within here we're gonna get something decent, and the big one that we're looking for is, of course, the Charizard, whether it's the gold one or the special illustration rare. So I'm just gonna get stuck in. We've got 36 packs to get through, and I can't be wasting any time nattering on too much. Let's go. So first pack, I'm I'm literally going to try and get through these much faster than I have with the other ones and less talking. We've got nothing going on there. Didn't show you the code card though. Sorry, I'm an absolute nightmare for that. This is where we will really find out whether we're going to get anything decent from it. Again, sorry for missing out the code card. And I think, like I said, after opening all of this, I could probably easily start a master set, because I would imagine that I've got the vast majority. Oh, nice, Megalopunny. That's not a bad hit at all. I'd imagine that, honestly, short of the big Charizards and the Dawnspell special illustration rare, I dare say that I could probably actually complete this master set. I wouldn't be that far off completing this master set. Well, given that we've just opened up a binder collection for Black Bolt, I actually now have a spare binder, so definitely worth something to have a look at. I've never been one to think about master setting, just because I think the minute you're committing to a master set, I'm that kind of person where I'd have to pull every card. I wouldn't want to complete a master set by buying the cards online. I've just ruined all three of those. But Moltres, Suicune, and Reshiram. I don't know what it is. I would have to feel like I'd have to pull every single card, and to be chasing a specific card when it's something as rare as a Charizard. Look how much I'm struggling to get into this pack. Something as rare as the Charizard illustration rare. You could be opening hundreds of packs, and it's just so much money to chase one card. If anyone's been watching, should I open it or should I keep it sealed? Short Pocket Monster has been trying to pull that Charizard from Burning Shadows for I don't know how long now, to the point where he could have bought the card over something like 5 times. But I tell you what, if we can pull the Charizard in this booster box now, I might as well give it a go, because I've already got the hard part out of the way. There are plenty of other cards we can be keeping an eye out for in this set, and it's just we've not even made a dent on it. I think we've been through what, 4 packs of the booster box so far. How many times have we had this Charmeleon, by the way? Charmander, oh my god, that was like blaspheming in the church. Nothing from that pack, but we're barely even making a dent. It's absolutely unbelievable. If anything, this video has taught me how to open packs a little bit better. I feel like I'm actually getting the hang of it now. And I'm still doing the energy trick, even though I said I'd stop doing it. Wombre, Pillup, Pour Me, Mukro, Dizzying Valley. Do you know what? I need to be more careful when I'm opening, because I keep accidentally flicking my fingers to the side and seeing that I've not got anything big at the end. Also, that Moltres, I'm sure we pulled that Moltres about 5 times. The amount of packs that I've got on my floor now is absolutely insane. Right, we're not going to keep doing the energy trick. We're going to blitz through these now. There's the Charmeleon. I might even start just... Oh, nice! That is a decent card, you know. I think that's about a £20–30 card. It's slightly thick on the right side of the border, but that is a decent card. And if it falls within Aces 60/40, it's absolutely faultless. I don't know what it's worth in a 10, but that is probably one of the better pulls that we've had so far. Definitely out of the Phantasmal Flames box. That is a good one. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little look and see how much that goes for in a 10. Yeah, $127, so what, about £100 in, I've completely forgotten what our currency is, sterling. That is a good one, really happy with that. And I'm gonna say it again, all of these cards that we've pulled, I'll go through them in my own time and see if there's any that I think are worth sending for grading. But the vast majority of them, as I said, will end up on my eBay channel. So if you like the look of any of them, or maybe you're chasing a master set and you want to get some of these cards, go on, have a look. It's Shiny Tim on ebay.com. I'll put the link in the description, as I've mentioned about 3 times already in this video, but I'll put them all for sale there where you can go and pick them up. Not back wall worthy. Do you know what? The Megalopunny AX, is that back wall worthy? It can stay there for now. Probably just approaching the halfway point of the right hand side of the box. Again, nearly ruined it for myself. There's your code card. And do you know what? I'll point it out. Why am I showing you an energy card? I'll point it out before anybody mentions it. I'm surprised nobody actually has already in the comments. My hands are absolutely covered in scratches and marks, and the one in particular that you can keep seeing flipping on the right hand side. I bought some new Japanese knives for Christmas and absolutely tore through my finger when I was trying to clean it a couple of weeks ago. So that was a bad one. But the vast majority of all of the little nicks and marks that you see all over my hands are from my cat, who is a bitey little boy when he's trying to have a polite card. And yeah, he just absolutely rips my hands to bits. So before anybody points it out, I'm going to point it out myself. And I really should probably start trying to get through these a little bit faster. Oh, that is a nice one. So we've just, in the space of 2 packs, pulled a special illustration rare Rotom EX and a illustration rare Flygon. So we've had a good little spell going on here. Let's hope that it is a sign of better things to come. But yeah, my cat is he can be a bitey boy when he needs to. How am I finding it this hard to get into a pack? I've just sat here and opened, what, 40 packs? Why can't I get into it? There we go. That could be a good sign. That could be a good sign. That means that we're about to pull something huge. And is there 2 different types of artwork for that Zigzagoon that I've seen in here? I'm not 100% sure. Charcadet, Bramwagast, Fire Breather, Ludicolo, Lombre and Ludicolo back to back. That's cool. Swinub and the Mega Gengar EX again. Nice. Let's get it sleeved up and put it on the back wall. So yeah, do you know what? And I always told myself I will never be that YouTube Pokemon content creator who just absolutely rinses through cards without even properly taking them on board. But I'm going to have to try and get through them a little bit faster than that, and we've not got anything in this pack. Love that Mimikyu though, absolutely love that Mimikyu. I need to find out how other YouTubers keep their desk clean while they're doing these big pack openings, because I am not doing a good job of it. Or maybe they don't and I've just never noticed and it's just me being an absolute clean freak. Oh, that's a weird way of opening a pack. Let's get in there. I'm really not looking forward to cleaning up all this mess on the floor after. No, nothing in there. These booster boxes though, the fact of the matter is that if you are not collecting sealed product, which as I said, I do not, they are just for sitting down and opening big boxes. Or maybe if you're a whatnot streamer, maybe that's something that you might do, opening up this many packs. But this is not something that I do often, as I'm sure you can probably tell. And we'll probably not do again for a while. As much as I know that in order to be a successful YouTuber with Pokemon content, you've got to open packs. I do feel like that there's plenty of that going on. There's already so many people on YouTube opening packs of Pokemon cards that it's a very saturated market. And I'm just like, well, is that something that I want to do, just sit and open packs? One thing, as I said, that I really could have done with when I first started out was I could see that Oricorio coming. That's a nice card. One thing that when I decided I was going to start out with YouTube content, I wasn't going to just be that person who just opens loads and loads of packs on streams and stuff like that. It was just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to put out content that I would have really found useful when I first started. So that's the whole point of this video. And I think it's worth looping back in onto why I'm actually making this video in the first place. Yes, it's an excuse that I can open a load of packs. But when I first got back into collecting Pokemon, I was blown away by all the different types of products. I'd been watching videos on YouTube just kind of here and there in my spare time. And I just happened to go into a supermarket one day and saw a collection box from, what was it now? Obsidian Flames. And I saw it and it was about 50 quid and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It was just on the shelf in Asda. I went back to the office and I spoke to a lad who I work with who I know he collects Pokemon cards. And I just said to him, oh, I've just seen this box of Pokemon cards. I'd taken a picture of it. And he went, no way, no way. In Asda, I was like, yeah. I was like, how much? About 45 quid. And he literally drove from the office to this Asda so that he could go and get them. And it turns out that, you know, that was a hard to get hold of box, that getting it at retail price was going to be quite unlikely. So I went back and got one myself as well, because I thought, well, clearly, oh, another Mega Heracross. So yeah, he went rushing back and picked one up and I thought, well, I might as well get one. And that was how it started for me. That's how I decided to start getting back into collecting Pokemon cards after literally, God, I dread to think how many years since I stopped collecting them. But like I said, I'm relatively new to this, as we've reached the halfway pack of the booster box, by the way. But yeah, I'm still new to this, and I just felt like that all of the content that was out there was all people who have been doing this for years and absolute veterans, and I just felt like a little bit of a, not left out, but like I felt like a little bit of a novice and was just like, oh, everybody's really good at this. Is this something that I should be doing? And then I realized that there were so many other people who, exactly like me, wanted to get back into it, and the kind of, yes! Yes! Oh, nice. So now, not only have I got a raw copy, but I've also got the graded version. I don't think I'm going to send that one for grading, because I think one thing that I have learned from this video is I think I am going to do my first master set. I'm going to do a Phantasmal Flames master set, because after doing all this, I've probably got half of them anyway. Plus, it's a pretty small set, but that is definitely the best one that we've pulled so far. I'm not sure if it's worth as much as the Rotom, but that is, again, for me, Gen 1 Pokemon, Meowth Legend. That's a really, really cool card to have. And we've got another illustration rare to add to the back row. We've had a nice little run, and that, as I said, takes us through to halfway through the booster box. I've completely lost trail of what I was saying before then. Probably yapping on about why I've got back into creating YouTube content. Yeah, the vast majority of the content seemed like it was people who have been doing it for a long time. And I just wanted to start putting some stuff out there that I thought past Tim would have found useful when I first started out. Like, what do we get? What product should I buy? What's going to be in this tin? How much should I spend? There's so many different things to factor in. Otherwise, you could very, very easily start spending an absolute fortune on this hobby. Not like I haven't already. I dread to think how deep in the hole I am. But again, there are some people who will get into this hobby for the purpose of trying to make money, because it is, I don't think it's doable. If you're opening packs straight away, you are going to be at a loss, because this is, it's a form of gambling essentially, isn't it, at the end of the day? You are opening packs of cards to try and pull a big expensive one, and it's just get out of hand very easily. And that's not the type of collector that I wanted to be. I wanted to enjoy my cards. That's why my collection itself is pretty much exclusively graded cards that I just really like the look of. And as I said, I've put together a 151 binder, which on another video I'm going to have to show off at some point, because it's really coming along nicely. I basically mapped out all of the original Gen 151 Pokemon and researched the nicest version of it that I could find. The version that I liked the most, not the most expensive. However, I've got expensive taste, so naturally the nicest versions of each card that I could find were the most expensive. And essentially I'm filling my binder with the versions of those cards. And that for me, that's the nostalgic of it. That's just something that I will just enjoy doing. That's the type of collector I want to be. Don't get me wrong, I'm also really, really keen to start looking at some vintage. I want to get some vintage cards. I've had my eye on getting a graded base set Charizard for ages. But I did see a video yesterday, and I can't remember where I saw it, but it was some guy who has completed base set, raw ungraded, in the original base set binder. And I just thought, that is so cool. So I think I might do something like that. However, what I really should stop doing is coming up with new collection ideas when I've not even completed one master set or my actual 151 set. But again, like I said, it depends what you want to get into the hobby for. Some people get into it because they want to try and make a load of money. Some people get into it because they want to collect sealed. Some people do it because they like graded cards. Other people just like having really cool binders. That is the beauty of this hobby. It is just however you want to do it. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. For me, sitting and opening packs it's fun. It's just something to do, isn't it? It's not something that I do all the time. And I know why, because we've hit a very, very poor streak here. Just to take a brief break, I don't think we've had a single hit in the last 3 or 4 packs. 12 packs remaining, and not a single sniff of a Zard, which was, at the end of the day, what I was really hoping to pull from this set. I've seen people open 5 or 6 boxes though and get absolutely nothing. Of course, they get things from it, but they've not got any form of Charizard, whether it's the special illustration rare or the gold one. And we've had nothing from that pack again. This is a really grim dry streak that we're hitting. And honestly, my fingers are hurting from opening so many packs. Let's hope we can get something from this. I think I've got a little bit better at showing you the code cards, so I hope somebody appreciates those. And as we move into this next pack, okay, the Mega Sharpedo, not bad. That's the first hit we've had in quite literally, oh god, I don't know how many packs. But we are nearly at the end of this booster box. We've got 11 packs left, and we just need to get that Charizard. I'd take the Dawn. I'd be happy with the Dawn. If we pulled the special illustration rare Dawn, I'd be pretty happy with that. That's a really cool card. Oh, I've left half of the cards in that pack. There's your code card, and let's see what we've got. I don't want to move. Do you know what? A couple of packs ago, I started moving through them quickly, and I just don't like it. It just feels wasted. As much as I'm making this content for you guys, I'm making it for me as well, because frankly, I just enjoy it. I actually want to sit and enjoy the cards, not just flick through them, just hit scalping. Hit scalping, is that a phrase? There's your code card. We're into our last few packs now. Come on, let's get a little bit of something special, something magical. Right, we've just had a Dawn there. Could that be a sign that we're going to get the special illustration rare Dawn? If we do now. Oh, nice! That, I absolutely love this card, and I don't have it. Such a nice card. I think as illustration rares go, I don't know if it's quite as nice as the Meowth, but that is a really, really good card. And do you know what? Pillup is one of those Pokemon that it's not from the generation that I couldn't tell you what generation it's from, but I am a sucker just for cute Pokemon, and I absolutely love that. It's just cute, isn't it? And that is, I am a fan of the cute little Pokemon. I bet nobody can guess what my favourite Pokemon is. Get in the comments. Honestly, if somebody can guess what that is, it is from Gen 1 to 3. So if anybody can guess what that card, tell you what, if anybody can guess what my favourite Pokemon is, you can have that pill up. So moving on to the 8th to last pack. And did I get rid of the, I don't know if I got rid of the energy card then, so I'm not going to risk it. And we're yet to hit anything huge. However, we've got, look at that row that we've got there going on at the back. We've got a really good, nice little setup of illustration rares and special illustration rares, which are my favourite cards, other than vintage cards that just remind me of my child. Oh, nice. Back to back hits. It's not an illustration rare, but it's a good one nonetheless. And definitely worth going on the back wall. I'll tell you what, while we're down to our last few packs, let's get rid of that. But yeah, I was literally just before then about to say that I love vintage cards. That's for me, that's where the nostalgia is. And I absolutely love looking at them and seeing them, even if they're not in the best condition, just reminds me of my childhood. But cards like these, when it comes to the modern era, I love illustration rares. That is for me what I absolutely love about the modern era. Illustration rares, special illustration rares, and just taking into appreciation the artwork. That's what I love about the modern hobby. So I've got two sides to it. As much as, you know, I want to focus on the nostalgia side of collecting, I do really appreciate modern cards. There's some cards where, honestly, the Pokemon, I wouldn't even know what it was if it wasn't for getting back into the hobby. Like the Iron Leaves that I picked up from Temporal Forces that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, didn't even know that Pokemon existed before I got back into collecting Pokemon cards. And like I said, it's not a really expensive card, but it's a card that I just absolutely love. I think it's just, I think part of it is to do with the artwork that Ace Graydon had done to make the label so nice. But I think if you really want to actually enjoy this hobby, you're not just in it for the money, and you're not just in it to try and make content and just try and make as much money off it as you can. If you can actually appreciate the artworks, the modern ones in particular have got some absolutely exceptional ones. The nicest of which being, I do think, the Charizard. I know everybody says it and it's just so same old, got another Sacred Charm there. But I do think that the Charizard special illustration rare from this set is one of the nicest cards in existence. I do think that the Mega Gengar EX from the Ascended Heroes Mega Dream set is also up there, but I would say that because I pulled it, so I'm actually going to have a bias towards it. We've only got 5 packs left. I cannot believe it's actually taken me this long. I set aside a good 2 hours to record this, and we've nearly been through that. Obviously, it won't be as long for you guys because I'm going to edit the hell out of it. But we are down to we've got 4 packs after this one. I've really enjoyed doing this. It's the most packs I've opened in one go, and I really enjoyed, just interacting with the camera and, just documenting everything that I do. Not that I like the sound of my own voice. But we've picked up some brilliant cards. What I'll do is, once we've been through them all, what I'll do is I'll do a little recap of all of the main hits that we've pulled. There's some other stuff in there as well that I will have likely missed, and some really good reverse holos. Like I said, we pulled quite a few Shinji Kanda cards that I'm definitely going to be adding to a page in my binder. But it's been good. I've enjoyed this, and I hope you've taken something away from it. I know this was blatantly just an excuse for me to open a load of packs, but like I said, when I first got back into the hobby, I was not sure what half of these products were, and I was buying tins, not knowing what was in the tins, and I could have done with a little bit of advice on, well, what is actually out there, so I know what I'm looking for. So that's the kind of content that I want to put out there. It's more enjoyable for me. Hopefully you guys actually get something from it, but at the same time, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone because we get to open a hell load of packs. Down to our 3rd to last pack now. Let's hope we can get something magical. It's already been a pretty successful box. When you take a look at that back wall, we've got some really good cards in there. Oh, nice! Nice. Well, we've got a Charizard. It's not the special illustration rare, but we went Zard hunting and we've got a Zard. It's a really clean copy of that as well, actually. When I have a look at the centering, maybe a little bit right side heavy, but great card. Well, we've got a Charizard at least. And before we wrap up, one thing I did not take into consideration was how much bulk we'd end up with. That's absolutely ridiculous. That is one of those things that you just don't think about when you watch these videos of people opening like 5 boxes of packs. The amount of bulk that they must end up with. I'm absolutely convinced that half of them are just chucking them on the floor as well, because it's chaos around me here and I'm trying to be relatively organised. There's your 2nd to last card. Come on, let's see what we can get. Give me something magical. That is a poo pack. Last pack. Look, guys, I'd need to stop and actually calculate how many packs of Pokemon cards that we've actually opened today. It must be, it's above 50, isn't it? And this is what's blowing my mind when you see people who literally open hundreds of packs at once. There's your final code card for the day. Let's see what we've got. Pormo, Gloom, Dugong, Jigglypuff, Linoon, Punk Helmet, Alcremie? I don't know what that is, I'll be honest with you. Sandile, Dizzying Valley, and a Vileplume. Oh, do you know what? We've got some brilliant stuff there though, and let's just have a little bit of a recap of all of the hits that we've pulled, because there's been so many of them. So let's pull all these together. Right, so let's have a look at all the hits. It's a pretty hefty pile of hits, to be fair. We've got the Macargo EX, the Meloetta EX, Superior EX, Empoleon EX, we've got Battle Cage, the Drayton from Surging Sparks, the Charcadet promo from our ETB, the Mega Gengar EX, Sacred Charm, I think we've got 2 of those. Same with the Miss Magius, there's another 2 of those somewhere. Mega Sharpedo, Mega Lopunny, Empoleon EX, another Mega Gengar EX, let's pop that on top of the existing one. An Oricario, Mega Heracross EX, another Miss Magius EX, another Sharpedo EX, another Sacred Charm, another Oricorio, the Mega Charizard, which will pop up there, the Tanglia, which is one of my favourite ones that we've pulled today, the Darmanitan, the Blastoise from 151, that was a good pull, the Mega Heracross EX, Wigglytuff, Mega Lopunny, Flygon illustration rare, the Rotom EX special illustration rare, the Pillup illustration rare, and finally the Meowth illustration rare. I think we've done all right there, all things considered. Some absolutely stunning cards. I'm going to have a look through them and see if any of them are worth grading, because the fact of the matter is they're all pack fresh. A good majority of these could get 10s. So I'll spend some time going through all of those. I need to spend a good hour cleaning up my floor because it's an absolute state. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching me open a load of packs, but I hope you've also enjoyed understanding what's in each product. I hope you've learned a little bit from today. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed me chatting a load of rubbish. Don't forget that the vast majority of these cards that I don't send to get graded will end up on my eBay account. So go and check out the bio where you can see a link to my page. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We've got loads of stuff coming up. I've literally planned out my next like 6 videos. We're going to do a load of how-to guides, how to sell cards on eBay, how to flip binders, how you can go to card shows and pick up raw cards that you can then send away to get back in a 10 and make a profit. All this stuff we've got coming up on the channel, so don't forget to go and subscribe. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, drop me a comment, let me know what your favourite card was, and I'll see you on the next one.